Yon World, what's the deal? It's your boy Original back with another one for y'all. Check this out. We about to react to this video right here. The British Museum is full of stolen artifacts. Now, this is something I already knew. I look at museums like, you know, to view what they stole over the sea, cause it got like museum. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like an amusement park to see what they captured and brought back over from sea travel. You know what I'm saying? From the boats. So the British Museum. This is something I wanted to go. A reason why I wanted to go to London. I think it's in London. But it's one of the reasons why I wanted to go to this museum. But yeah, we about to check out all of the stolen artifacts. It's your boy.
This is the British Museum. It's the world's largest world history museum, and it draws millions of visitors every year. Inside, it holds more than 8 million cultural and historical artifacts from all over the world, which cover 2 million years of human history.
Damn.
If you follow the museum's recommended list of don't miss items, you'll see its star pieces. Like this Easter Island sculpture that's about 1,000 years old, or this bronze sculpture of the Hindu god Shiva. But there's a problem hidden in the museum, and we can see an example of it along this route. Out of those 12 pieces, nearly half have disputed ownership. The British Museum claims those pieces belong there, on display for the world to see. But in recent years, many have been fighting to get them back to where they came from. The list of
Yeah, y'all took everything, bro. Like that's what y'all gotta understand about, the hierarchies. Like definitely like Rome, how Rome controlled the world still. They stole from Africa, bro. Like they literally got they bag, all of their money from Africa, all the gold, all the treasures. They took that shit. They took the architecture and they took it and built ancient Rome, bro. That's all they did, bro. Africa collapsed, funded they rise. So, you know what I'm saying? They got everything. You know what I'm saying? They didn't got but the thing about that empire is they conquered everywhere, bro. Like y'all niggas conquered everything, bro. But tables turn.
Disputed museum treasures keeps on growing.
Should cultural artifacts return to their home countries or be left in Western museums? The subject of intense debate as to who should now own them.
Introducing Now. Just like that, it's here. Now doesn't wait, it accelerates.
Let's go.
Let's start with some context. In the late 1600s, the British Empire began expanding across several continents. It became the largest empire in history, controlling about a quarter of the world's land and population.
The largest empire in history. You know what I'm saying? The British. They started from the Roman Empire. You know what I'm saying? Graduated to some Knight Templar shit. British, all that. It's just same family, right? Same family tree. Largest empire. They conquered so much, bro.
During its centuries-long rule, the empire took precious resources and wealth from countries all over the world, including cultural and historical artifacts, many of which ended up here in the British Museum, which was founded in 1753 and kept growing to accommodate all the new pieces in its collection. Lots of the items in the museum were legally acquired and are completely undisputed, like this one, a 2,000-year-old Roman vase sold to the museum by a duke in 1940.
A fucking Roman vase?
The problem is with the pieces that are disputed. Like the first item you see.
We talk about the shit that's 1,000,000 years old.
The Rosetta Stone, taken by British.
The Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone from Come on now. Come on now. That's 1,000,000-year-old artifact right there. And they got it on display, bro. Yes, take this shit back to Egypt, bro.
Troops from the French in what is now Egypt. Or further in, the Parthenon sculptures, removed from the Acropolis in Athens by a British lord and sent to the British Museum.
Y'all can keep
or
them.
over here, on the floor dedicated to African art, the Benin Bronzes. Some of the most contentious items in the
Yeah, we
museum.
need all of them back.
The Benin Bronzes are kind of hard to categorize because they include such a huge range of items, from engraved ivory tusks to brass sculptures to plaques.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we
they
need
were
all of them.
produced here, in the Kingdom of Benin, in present-day Nigeria. This wealthy and industrious kingdom produced thousands of objects and art pieces starting in the 1500s. A lot of the items adorned palace walls and were used for religious rituals, but they weren't just decorative.
There were visual archives of the kingdom in a society that did not develop written script as we know them.
That's Professor Chika Okeke-Agbulu, an art historian and professor from Nigeria who teaches at Princeton University.
They told their history, how they narrated the histories of kingship, of the kingdom, its political and social life.
But in 1897, Benin would lose thousands of these cultural pieces. At the time, European colonial powers were expanding
Look
south.
at that. Look at that propaganda, bro. Look at these propaganda pictures. Like, this is literally a European soldier. Like, he's saying he got the whole Africa. He stretched out the whole Africa, bro. He's saying his mark is from the top to the bottom of this bitch. From Egypt to motherfucking South Africa, Cape Town. He said he got this motherfucker on lock. Right? This is crazy, bro.
What was called the Scramble for Africa. They split up the continent into spheres of influence for financial exploitation. All these pink areas were the British ones. Benin, over here, was in Britain's sphere of influence. But the kingdom didn't comply with Britain's trade demands. And in January of 1897, it led to what was called the Benin disaster, where Benin guards killed 7 British emissaries, plus their many guides and servants.
Yeah, get him out of there.
1,200 British troops embarked on a mission called the Benin Punitive Expedition. The British wanted revenge, but the mission was about more than just that.
There were reports of these vast treasures in the palace.
So, y'all see this. Y'all already know how this is about to play out. If you don't, look. So, basically, the Benin people, the people of Nigeria today, right, killed 7 Europeans. Like, get the fuck on, right? So, these niggas sent about 200, I think they say 1,000, or it said like 200 people over there to retaliate, but they really been plotting on them the whole time because they learned about this treasure. So, like I said, all of the wealth from these powerful families, you know, that was just passed down generation to generation, the Pope, the Queen Elizabeth, and you know what I'm saying, all of these motherfuckers y'all worship and idol, all of these royal families, right? They got they shit through blood, murder, kill. You know what I'm saying? They was over there, you know, having expeditions. They call them expeditions, right? You know what I'm saying? Going to town on us, man. So I be feeling some type of way. You know what I'm saying? I think the ancestors speak through my spirit differently than they do other black people. But when I hear stuff like this, it just be like triggering me to get more smarter and to put more information out to help people.
Of the king of Benin, and that if they could retrieve these treasures, sales from it could offset the cost of the invasion. This was all well planned, and so the punitive expedition, in other words, was also an economic enterprise.
Donald Trump thinks that we won't stand up to him.
He said
But we will.
they little expedition turned into an enterprise. Do y'all get that? That's not something to be looked over. These little slave trades and expeditions they had against all of these indigenous people, they turned into enterprises. You got to understand, like, when you continuously marginalize a group, continuously kill a people, steal their wealth, take from and empower yourself. It's gonna be this wealth inequality. That's what they call it now. Wealth inequality. You know what I'm saying? Even here, like after, post Civil War shit, with like the Lane massacres, or if you don't know about that, with the Daily Record getting burnt down, with all the black people that was in the office, and they was, building up after the Civil War. They burnt that down. Then Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? Another place. Black that was famously known as the Black Wall Street. They see black people doing good, bro. And I'm just saying this like for the indigenous people. These motherfuckers seen the indigenous people, right, back then, like with amazing architecture, shit they can't create, gold and treasures. Like they was very resourceful. Their land was abundant, and they saw that and took it. Just like now, when they see anything, they take it. So
the British soldiers, armed with machine guns, conquered the city and burned it to the ground, but not before carefully taking thousands of artifacts. They piled them up neatly, photographed them, and even labeled them loot. This photo, taken at the Benin Palace after the raid, shows soldiers with the dismantled plaques that were brought to the British Museum and sold all over the world.
Wow.
And after hundreds of years, the once prosperous kingdom was gone. The region fell under full British colonial control until 1960, when Nigeria, including the city of Benin, gained independence. But even though they were finally free, their historical artifacts were still spread all over the world.
Until 1960,
like the Leipzig Museum of Ethnology in Germany and the Quai Branly Museum in Paris, and, of course, the British Museum.
1995, in London. That was my first time of seeing an original ancient Benin artwork. Was, yes, at the British Museum. Being in the presence of these magnificent objects and knowing that I had to travel all the way from Nigeria to see for the first time these objects, it was a mixture of pride in the achievement of these ancient artists and anger mixed with a sense of loss at what could have been if I only had to travel a few hundred miles. But at this point, you're limited to those privileged like me who could get a visa to travel all the way from Nigeria to England to encounter these objects. Most Nigerians will never see them.
Dang.
In March 2000,
he was mad about that.
Tried to change that. They officially requested all cultural property illegally taken be returned to the rightful owner. But for the most part, the British Museum has ignored any requests. The museum is restricted by a government act that prevents it from returning objects, but it has also made its stance clear. In July of 2020, the British Museum told Vox, "We don't restitute, but we are absolutely committed to lending as widely as possible, including to Nigeria. The museum's foundational value resides in its breadth, scale, complexity, and unity, and as such is a true
up, bro. That's why I hate these like politically structured company statements. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. All of that unity and scale all of that extra, man, shut up, bro. Stop lying.
Chika doesn't see it that way.
The British Museum still behaves like a colonial museum. You cannot claim to be an encyclopedic collector of stolen objects.
But some are starting to reckon with this history. In 2014, the grandson of this British soldier from the 1897 Benin punitive expedition returned these two items he had inherited to the Benin royal family. And in 2007, the Benin Dialogue Group was formed. Western museums that hold the bronzes and Nigerian government representatives have been discussing potential solutions ever since. But as of today, none of the bronzes have been returned. But this is just one story. This legacy is bigger than the Benin Bronzes. There are hundreds of contested items in the British Museum, with their own rich histories and with original owners trying to retrieve them. But the problem is even bigger than the British Museum. It's a legacy of centuries of colonial power that repeats itself again and again, with different artifacts in different museums, because these requests aren't just about items. They are also about cultural and historical identity and who gets to own it.
This is
Man.
a long-term project.
It's like these motherfucking white people, they just want all the intellectual property. You know what I'm saying? This behavior, I would say, continues in certain businesses like the music business, right? You sign a record deal, you sign away your rights. You basically sign away all of your artifacts, everything you creating, all of that special music. It just took you hours and nights to make. Like, you don't own that. Like, they give you, when you hear, oh, I got to advance, you know what I'm saying? They basically paying you up front for what they think you worth, right? And whatever amount they give you, you're really worth 10 times that. But they give you up front for what they think you're worth, your catalog, right? You take that year, which get taxed, and then you paying all of these different costs. But I'm saying that to say the same behavior, this colonial ownership, stealing, like, type of mentality, is like they run their whole shit with that. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta just notice and empower ourselves, and from this point on, not allow that to ever happen again. Never. Like, as long as we remain educated in today's time, it'll never happen again, I don't think. So we just gotta not be a target either for these motherfuckers, and to put yourself in a position to where you can go to war. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be financially ready for some shit like that. So yeah, man, it's your boy Yon World. Let's just watch the last little 30 seconds.
Last beyond my own lifetime, but the point is that it's now to start that process. We cannot wait any longer
Right.
for a next generation to even begin the necessary task and project of cultural reconstitution.
Yeah, I agree with that. Give back the artifacts, but the British Museum is not going to do that, right? It'll have to be, an overturn of energy, like an overturn of power, because to them, by giving back, by retracting what they stolen, it make them look bad. Also, it make them look like thieves, and you know what I'm saying. So they got acts and shit set up to protect them. You know what I'm saying? By the government they created, they gonna create a law within it to protect them from the shit they stole. That shit crazy. But I still believe tables turn, and every kingdom falls, every empire falls, and it cycles, man. That's why I got this tattoo on my arm. The first shall be last. I do believe that, like, all of the, the lesser, the forgot about groups, and the so-called minorities, so-called black people in America, it's a time, it's happening right now, which we rising, and we rising past the oppression, and the table's gonna turn. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna have control, and y'all gonna see it. This is an event that's gonna play out over the next 40 years, but y'all gonna see. Y'all definitely gonna see. It's your boy Yon World. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Turn on post notifications for your boy Yon World. I'm out. Peace.